Book 8, Lesson 21, Conversation 2. Question number 1. Give us an example of something you do quite well. Interesting. Please, no false modesty answering this question, alright? So answer. I'll try to answer with no false modesty as well. I think, this is a problem we sometimes have. We fail to acknowledge things we do well because we are afraid to show it, right? Because we are afraid to sound braggy. Braggy is a nice word for you. But I think we can just improve if we know our qualities and if we know the problems, right? So I think something I do quite well is to teach English. Of course, I believe I don't have false modesty. I believe I'm a good teacher. I don't believe this is the best I do. I think when I teach literature, I'm better than teaching English. That's my opinion. I can do it better, But I really believe I am a good teacher. Also, I cook quite well. And then that quite is important. When I talked about teach, I think I teach very well. I cook quite well. I must say it's like a lottery. If you go to my house, for example, I decide to cook. Why? Because the way I cook is extremely creative. And then I say, wow, that's so good. Not so much, right? That means, for example, I get home, I take a look at the ingredients, and then I create something new, right? I like to do that. I like to cook that way. And then many occasions, more often than not, so I'm very happy to tell you that more often than not, my family is impressed and they say, wow, this is so good, And then I get very happy. But there is a downside to it. What is the downside? If I cooked something very good today, I tell my family, please enjoy it now, because probably you will not eat it again. Because, I just forget, I go with the moment, right? So this is the first big disadvantage. Sometimes my kids ask me to cook something I have cooked before, and I can't for two reasons. First, because I forget, I just forget, the ingredients, and I work with ingredients that are there, right? And second, because when I'm cooking, then I start having other ideas, and then I change the recipe. That's the first downside to it. The second downside is that sometimes I get things very wrong, and then my family has to smile and keep eating, and very rarely, but I admit in some cases, horrible things that, thanks God, I taste, and then I just throw it away, But again, I'm very happy to say that most of the cases they're happy, all right? But then there are those downsides to it. Okay. Question number 2. Give me an example of something you do occasionally. Answer. Well, unfortunately, occasionally now I watch movies, I used to be a movie freak. I remember there was a period in my life I used to watch, and I will never forget, that will be a memorable month for me. August of 2013. See how far I'm going. In that month, I think I watched 85 movies. 85 movies, so it's almost 3 movies per day, It was a happy moment in my life. Now I watch movies occasionally. Most of the time I watch movies with my family, so my movies that are, I like international cinema, they're kind of forgotten for now, but in the future I'll go back to my movies. Question number 3. Have you ever translated anything from one language into another? Answer. Yes, I have. I have actually translated, a book and lots of articles and etc. I don't work with it anymore. Question number 4. Tell us about something that has become commonplace now. Answer? Well, I don't know, technological things, right? Social media, things like that have become commonplace now. Question number 5. What do you think are the good and bad things about being a teenager? Answer? Well, I think it's very bad because you are probably a little bit lost, you want to be great, and then people want to teach you different ways and you don't want to accept it. Maybe your expectations for the future. For me, it was not a big deal because I didn't worry so much about the future when I was a teenager, right? And then I remember I suffered so much. The love life is horrible, because you don't have a perspective of time, So you have a crush, on a person, and then if that doesn't work out, you just cry yourself out and you think the world is ended, So that's very bad. Good things about being a teenager, I don't know, you have a lot of experiences, right? I think that's very nice. I think it's a fact when up to the moment you are a teenager, your life expands, a lot. Time expands, When you become an adult and you work, big chunks of time shrink, and you look back after, I don't know, 5 years and you think, wow, I thought it was like 3 months, right? I'll have to open a second part for this video because of my battery.